So today we're taking a look at a card that I basically came straight out of China. It's a wireless and Bluetooth pci-express card from a company called EDUP. And if we look at the packaging here, you can tell there's no branding on it at all, which I think is really interesting. It's just a generic box that says PCI-Express Wireless on it. Otherwise, the card itself looks pretty good and actually comes with a fair amount of stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. It's kind of surprising, given this is basically a card straight from China, quite cheap. I think maybe paid $20 for it. And it does both Bluetooth and wireless AC, AX, etc. The first thing you pretty much notice immediately is that the manual is basically useless. Here I am sort of fumbling around with it, and it's just in English and Chinese, and the manual itself is really not all that helpful. It pretty much just tells you to attach the antennas, slide it into your machine, pretty much what you would do with any PCI Express card. So something I found kind of interesting about this card, one, the black PCB looks great, and then it has a USB header on the back here, and that's specifically for the Bluetooth. And you can also see on the table here, and I'll be picking it up momentarily, we basically have this cable that's plugs into a USB header on your motherboard for the Bluetooth. You could also use this without that and just use the wireless card if you wanted, but that's an option. So the antennas, massive, absolutely crazy. I can't believe how big these wireless antennas are getting. I don't even really... I would like to see someone actually do some investigating on whether or not these are even useful being this large, but here you go. They're massive. It is what it is. I don't even know what's inside them. Maybe there's just plastic. But yeah, so, I mean, the card looks okay. Nothing to complain about there. It comes with a low-profile bracket, which I thought was really, really cool. Nice addition. And a screwdriver to install said low-profile bracket. The strange thing I also noticed about this is that it comes with screws, but screws are already on the card for the other bracket, so you don't really need those, but here they came anyway. And then a disc with probably Chinese spyware on it. We'll install some other drivers from a more generic place. But anyway, so here we are, just throwing it in the machine. Pulled the graphics card out specifically so you can see. So installing this, the actual metal bracket and the actual PCI Express plug, they're a little off, so you kind of have to give it a good wiggle, and then it goes in quite violently. But otherwise, it went in fine. And of course, it locks in place with a screw. It worked pretty well. Then we have to install, of course, this strange little USB cable. And yeah, it pretty much is just install it on a header on the motherboard and plug it into the back of the card. Not too much there. You can see you get plenty of length on the cable, so I've tucked some of mine away here. And you could definitely, push that out of the way if you needed to get something else in there. It's not too difficult, and the cable's actually in pretty good shape. And of course, here we go installing those giant antennas. As you can see now, to really, really drive the point home how big these are. Look at it on the back of the case. They're freaking huge. I don't understand. But yeah, here they are. And I mean, look at them. Just look at those things. This is actually going to cause problems eventually, because when I reinstall the graphics card, I have to sort of move those around to plug my graphics card in. So you can see here, we're just looking at Device Manager. This is without any network connectivity, and the device it isn't detected automatically by Windows, so you got to get some drivers. I decided that since this is a standard AX200 card, or it uses the AX200 chipset from Intel, that we're just going to grab the drivers directly from Intel and see what we can make happen. So if you just search for those on the internet and go to the website, you can get those, and they actually work. So I would recommend just to go snag standard Intel drivers for the card. This probably works for about every EDUP model, because they seem to all be Intel based, at least the ones that I've found. So if you want to do that and you're a little worried about the drivers that EDUP provides, you can just do this. This just works just fine. So I've installed them. It's a really, really easy install. Of course, they're just Intel drivers, so I mean, there's not too much to say about it. And so yeah, now you see we've got them all connected up. You see my Bluetooth icon is now showing, so that's cool. And to give you a little background. The Bluetooth is actually great. I've streamed audio with it before, and it's been fine. Also, now we're just going to test the Wi-Fi real fast. Nothing too crazy. It's pretty fast, to be honest. I have Google Nest Wi-Fi pucks in my house as my network, and yeah, it works. I mean, as you can see, pretty decent speeds. I don't know how it's going to be reliability-wise, but it's a really cheap wireless card, and so we'll see how things go after this. I probably won't post another video about it unless you guys want me to go in depth on benchmarking this, or maybe testing a few more aspects of the card itself in terms of network speeds and things like that, or unless something breaks, then I'll definitely let you know. Otherwise, if you don't see any more videos from me on this, we can probably assume that it's still working. It seems like it's a pretty generic card. I don't foresee there being, too many issues with the card. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.